Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for watching. Today is a really sad day. For those of you who don't know, I'm filming this the day of, I guess it would be because it happened at 2 a.m. The day of the shooting in Orlando at the queer nightclub Pulse. And they were celebrating Latino Night. They were saying at first that 20-something people were killed and 50-something people were injured, but now they're saying there were 50-something people killed and 50-something people injured, which I think would make this the worst mass shooting in the US history. Today I was going to film like a foundation video and then a skincare video, but when I found out the news this morning, I was so like distraught and upset. And I thought of the number of times that I've gone to work or gone to class and important issues are not discussed. So I decided to dedicate this video to everyone who is affected by the mass shooting in Orlando. My heart really aches for the lives that were lost and the families that were affected. And while everybody I know is safe, I don't live near Florida, and any friends and family that I do have down there thankfully are safe. It's really difficult for me to articulate my feelings right now, especially because I know that the cause of this issue is really complex in like the historical systematic sense, and I don't think I'm the best person to speak to that. But I guess I want to remind you guys of two really important issues that I got out of this. The first one is that we hear about mass shootings in the United States all the time, and all that's been done about it is like upping security, which really just is adding more guns to the problem. Why can we not just prevent people from acquiring weapons? I understand the argument that guns don't kill people, people do. But then why make guns available to people? Homosexuality has become symbolic of like American moral superiority, and that's not okay because that kind of distracts us from the fact that this guy bought his gun in America. The second point that I want to make is people are using this incident to spread like anti-terrorist and anti-Muslim propaganda. Like they're using this as an excuse for Islamophobia. Queer people are definitely being affected by this issue because this is a reminder of how queer people are still unsafe. And it's especially devastating that it happens in a nightclub because historically a lot of nightclubs are queer spaces. My thoughts also go out to the Latina and Latino community because this was a night for celebrating not just queer people and queer white people, but Latino and Latina queer people. And finally, my thoughts go out to the Muslim and Middle Eastern communities who have to face on the daily blame for incidents like these. My suggestions for being an ally in times like these are: number one, to donate to funds that support the victims of this hate crime, and I will definitely link that down below. And also, as white people, even white queer people, to take a back seat when it comes to issues that are affecting queer people of color. Before you go ahead and start saying things like it's Islam that breeds homophobia or something like that, I'm gonna link some helpful articles and stuff down below actually that might help you get educated on the issue, because it's a lot more complicated than that, and we can't use incidents like these to justify racism. So to everybody that was affected by this incident, this tutorial is for you. I wanted to definitely showcase my pride with some rainbow, but I wanted to give a few disclaimers first. And I am by no means trying to appropriate anybody's struggle or speak for anybody else, but I hope anybody who's watching this who hasn't considered this issue in this kind of light before will kind of take some steps to educate themselves and maybe start to think of the big picture. So if you want to see how to get this rainbow queer pride makeup look, then please keep on watching. So I already primed my lids and put down Wet n Wild's Creme Brulee as a base shadow. And then I'm going to take my Inglot 6 SS with Makeup Geek's Peach Smoothie and dust that into the crease as a transition shade. Just going back and forth in windshield wiper motions and circular motions. And then I'm going to take my Spectrum brush from the Glam Clam. This is B03. It's just like a flat top blending brush. Don't know how I feel about this brush yet, but anyway, I'm going to take that on Sugar Pill's Flame Point and just basically do the same thing with that. And then on my Inglot 10S, I am taking Sugar Pill's Poison Plum, and I'm going to kind of cut the crease with this. Basically just go from inner to outer corner like we did with the last shade, but make it precise. And I'm going to keep going back and forth between my Inglot 10S and then that fluffier Inglot 6S to blend it out while building up the color. Sometimes I get a little bit of fallout with Poison Plum, so just make sure you either do your foundation last with this look or powder first. And then I'm going to take this Spectrum B04 brush. It's just like a flat shader brush with a little bit of a curve to it. And I am going to take from the Burning Heart palette again, Sugar Pills Love Plus on just the flat side of that brush. And I'm just going to put this on the outer corner of my eye, or of my lid rather, and just bring that all the way up to the crease, maybe ever so slightly above the crease. And then on the other side of the brush, we are going to take from the Burning Heart palette, Sugar Pills Flame Points. And then just pat that right on the center of the lid and kind of define the crease again there. I don't know how I feel about these Spectrum eye brushes, as I said before, but I kind of like this one because the curve kind of allows me to define the crease a little bit better. And to blend that, I'm just taking both sides of the brush where the colors meet and patting over that area. And then on a flat shader brush, I'm going to take Sugar Pills Butter Cupcake, and I'm going to put that all over the inner corner. So just pat that on the tear duct area, bring it into the inner corner of the eye, and slightly into the inner crease. And again, just alternating between the orange and yellow colors, we're going to build up that color a little bit while blending the edge by going back and forth between the two brushes that we used. And I am picking up a little more color as I go because when you blend bright colors, they can tend to fade a little bit. And then on a Real Techniques detailer brush, I am going to take the Wet n Wild Poster Child palette, and I'm going to take this yellow shade right here. It's a little bit lighter and less warm than Butter Cupcake, and it's got a hint of shine to it. So I'm going to actually spray that with my NYX Dewy Finish Setting Spray. I like to spray the brush after I dip it into the pan because a lot of the times dipping a wet brush into a pan of eyeshadow will create that like hard layer on top, and I'm trying to avoid that. And I'm just gonna apply that right over top of Butter Cupcake, but closer to the tear duct and not so much all over the lid. And I'm gonna bring that up into the inner crease because I really like how a little bit of shine looks there. And I'm just gonna do that one more time to build that color and shine up just a little bit. Just to kind of reiterate, feel free to go back and touch up any of the colors that might have faded as you're blending. Now I'm just gonna tightline with a black pencil liner, and I'm trying not to get too much of this like actually onto the lid, at least not past where my lash band is gonna cover. And now I'm just filling in my bottom waterline. If you want this look to look less smoky or you'd like to enlarge your eyes, then you can do the bottom with a white eyeliner instead of a black. And then directly underneath that, I'm taking Urban Decay's eyeliner in Covets, and I'm just going to put this right on the bottom lash line. And then just taking a flat definer brush or a push liner brush. You guys know this is a paintbrush from the craft store. I am going to take NYX's Primal Colors shadow in the shade Hot Green, and I'm just gonna put that pretty much all over the center of my lower lid, connecting with the yellow. Now, because this shadow is pretty matte, I'm putting some of it down dry first, because if you wet a matte eyeshadow, it can be hard to blend. And then after I've created a nice transition, I'm gonna get some more on the brush, spritz my brush, and then basically intensify that color closer to the lower lash line. So I'm going to take the same brush, I just wiped it off, and I'm going back into the Wet n Wild Poster Child palette, and this time I'm going to take this dark blue. And I'm going to do the same exact technique where I use it dry first, just to get a nice blend going, and then I'm going to intensify it closer to the lash line using it wet. Before I intensify it actually, I'm just going to give it a good little blend. I'm going to take my Inglot 6SS and just a touch of Butter Cupcake and just whisper this along the lower lash line. And then using that blue eyeshadow wet really close to the lower lash line to get it all intense. Now I'm just going to do my mascara and false lashes off camera. I'm going to use the Allure lashes in the style Definition number 126. These are gorgeous, by the way. You guys know I love things that have like a slight cat eye towards the end, but are like pretty round in shape because they complement my eye shape. I'm just gonna give it one tiny little slip on the end and on the inner corner. Normally I don't snip the inner corner, but the inner corner lashes are kind of long, so I'm just gonna snip the long part off if that makes sense. Of course it makes sense. I don't know why I keep saying if that makes sense. Maybe it's my internalized misogyny. Okay, so my lashes are on. I did reline my waterline and tightline, and I used a little bit of liquid liner on the top lash line to just mask the false lashes and make everything look more finished and even. So this is the finished eye look. Okay guys, that's it for this tutorial. I did pair this look with Kat Von D Witches and the Too Faced Love Blush in Baby Love. I just thought black and a purpley pink blush would go really well with this look. Go figure. Please don't forget to check out the links below where you can read up on some of the issues I talked about in the intro, or where you can donate to funds that support the victims from the shooting. Please be well and take as much time as you need to process. Please feel free to send me a personal message if you need somebody to talk to about all of this, and hopefully you'll all join me in just trying to stay engaged and become a better ally. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.